let's talk about happiness. Or better yet, how to be happy. Because it's not like anyone's ever tried to do that before. So before we begin, I think it's important that we define what exactly happiness is. So for that, we're going to ask ChatGPT, everyone's bestie. When asked what is happiness and how we obtain it, ChatGPT responds with, happiness is a subjective state of well-being and fulfillment that is attained through a combination of positive emotions, meaningful connections, purposeful pursuits, and contentment with one's circumstances. Doesn't that tell us so very much, but absolutely nothing at the same time? As much as it's great to know all of these big words of what happiness is, it doesn't tell us how to be happy. Luckily for you, I have the solution. Happiness is blueberries. Now, for those of you who are allergic to or don't like blueberries, I'm so sorry, but you're just never going to be happy. It's not personal. And if you're a remotely sane person, I really do hope at this moment you're probably questioning why we're talking about blueberries. We all know that you should eat healthy and nutrition is super important, and having a balanced diet of food is great. But why blueberries? Well, that's what I'm here for. Did you know that in 2023, there was a study released that showed that people who ate a 3/4 cup of blueberries a day had better cognitive function and lower blood pressure? And this is because blueberries contain something called anthocyanins. And the purpose of anthocyanins is to make sure that endothelial cells work as productively as possible. And the purpose of these cells is to regulate blood pressure and blood flow. So, if you have regulated blood pressure, you have the lower likelihood of having a heart attack or stroke. And if you have better blood flow, you have better blood flow to your brain, which means higher cognitive function. So in other words, anthocyanins are super, and they make you stronger with your brain and heart. Or, blueberries make you a genius. Now, I do hope that you all are wondering why I am so personally connected to blueberries. So I will tell you. A few months ago, my art class was struggling from a very big moral decline. We were not bothered to work, we had zero productivity, and my art teacher was sick of it. So he suggested that we swap our delicious Red Bulls for a pack of blueberries. Let's just say none of us were really happy with that statement. We liked our chips, we liked our energy drinks, but to entertain my crazy art teacher, we did try to do this. So for 2 weeks, we all ate a packet of blueberries a day. Guys, I've been taking this art class for 7 months. I had yet to have started an artwork. I ate blueberries for 2 weeks, and I not only started, but I finished my first IB diploma artwork. So in other words, blueberries made me Picasso. But they didn't just make me Picasso. My sleep quality improved, and my skin looked way better, but mostly my friends did mention I was slightly less unpleasant to be around for those 2 weeks. So at this point, I was wondering, what drugs did my teacher put into these blueberries? There has to be a secret that I don't know. So I did a little bit of research, and that's what put me on the blueberry kick, and it's what's gonna put you guys on this blueberry kick. So let's get back into all the nutritious facts about blueberries. In 2021, there was a study that showed a correlation between lower chronic inflammation and eating blueberries. And this is because blueberries contain the highest quantity of polyphenols than any other berry. And the purpose of polyphenols, they are a phytonutrient that has anti-inflammatory properties. So if you eat a lot of blueberries, your likelihood of chronic inflammation lowers. And so if your likelihood of chronic inflammation lowers, your likelihood of chronic disease also lowers, because the biggest driving cause of chronic disease is chronic inflammation. So in other words, polyphenols make you less sick. And there was a study that showed how if you eat blueberries, you have a lower likelihood of having heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline. I know there are still some skeptic people in this room, but if you eat a packet of blueberries a day, the doctor stays away. So, if you are here and you're sitting and you're thinking, okay, this is great, blueberries are awesome, but what type of blueberries do we eat? I will tell you. There are 3 levels of processing that I'm going to discuss in food today. And the first one would be any fresh fruit that you get at your local supermarket. These have barely been tampered with. If they have to be washed, it's actually even better, because then you know they're just as dirty as when they picked them. So please wash your fruit before you eat it, but try and aim to eat this type of fruit. Your second level of processing is a little bit harder to picture when you think of it in blueberries, because it would be the equivalent of pre-cut fruit to eat and snack on. Since we can't really cut blueberries, just imagine it as a bowl of pre-cut fruit that you could buy to go. This is a good alternative to nothing, but it's still not what we're going for, because these tend to have added sugars, because if they have added sugars, people want to buy them more often, and they sometimes do need preservatives to increase shelf life. So it's better than nothing, but don't aim for these. And your third level of processing would be the equivalent of a blueberry muffin or dried blueberries. I know blueberry muffins are amazing, but they're not going to give you the nutritional vitamins that you need to have all of these health benefits. So if you drink a blueberry Red Bull or a blueberry Fanta for 2 weeks and you don't feel your life has changed, don't you dare come complain to me about it, because it's not my fault. I know that I have my skeptics in the room, and you guys are my gym bros. You're sitting here thinking, but I need protein, I need the muscular gain, I can't risk my life with fructose. Now, I think blueberries are great, but they're not great for protein. But they are great for something else if you are someone who's very passionate about working out. They have great anti-inflammatory properties, which is what we discussed before, which means that you have a faster workout recovery. And this is because this was shown in a study where athletes did 90 minutes of workout a day, and they also ate a cup of blueberries, and they had a way lower inflammation than those who didn't. So in other words, if you need the gains, you need the blueberries, guys. And for my athletes in the room who probably sit at home stressing about that broken bone that you're worried could kill your career, the blueberries have got your back. They contain something called vitamin K, which is essential for bone strength. Now, guys, if I still haven't gotten you on this kick, I have one more thing to really win you over. I know that at some point in this talk, you all have sat there and said, wow, she's a genius. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am. But you probably thought, she didn't think about the expense. Don't you worry, I did. So if you bought a packet of blueberries a day at your local Migros, you would spend 3 francs 90. I know, that's a lot. That is a lot. It's crazy. But there was a study that showed that women on average spend $2,327 US on coffee a year. And men spend a little bit less, $1,934 a year. This is not a great statistic for the women in this room, but I am going to help us get it down. Don't worry. If you were to buy a packet of blueberries for $3.90 a day for a year, and we're going to assume it's a leap year so you guys don't get to me about that extra day that makes all the difference, you would spend roughly 1,427 francs. 0.4. And just to make you guys a little bit happier, we're going to convert this into dollars so that it makes more sense. So you're at $1,563.49. Who remembered the earlier numbers? Oh, I have them here for you. That's quite the jump that you would save. And I know you're going to be there like, I can't live without coffee. But secretly, you all do know that deep down, coffee is really bad for you. It's not good. It's a crazy dependency to have. So swap out that cup of coffee for a cup of blueberries, because when in doubt, blueberry it out. Now, in conclusion, guys, I really believe in blueberries, and I think that they have so many health benefits to bring to you. But they are just a pack of blueberries, so please don't actually depend your happiness on them. But that being said, when life gives you blueberries, please do eat them. Thank you.